Good morning, everyone. In today's session, we will be learning about chain surveying. So we'll be learning about different types of corrections that are applied in the chain surveying, and we'll try to solve certain problems solve certain problems on chain and tape corrections. I am N.S. Chandanshri, Assistant Professor in Department of Civil Engineering in M.S. Ramaiah University of Applied Sciences. To begin with, chain surveying is the one where only linear measurements are made in the field. So using this chain survey, we can only do the linear measurements. So for doing the angular measurements, we can use compass. Next is, there are certain cases where chain surveying is more suitable, and there are certain cases where chain surveying is not suitable at all. So the places where chain surveying is more suitable is when the area to be surveyed is very small. So when the area to be surveyed is small, the details that has to be taken noted down is fairly small, less. In that case, we can go for chain surveying, and the ground on which we are conducting the survey is fairly a level ground, a ground which doesn't have too much of unevenness or too much of rugged surface terrain. Next is if the area is open. If the area is having so many obstacles, then it is very difficult to chain in that area. Then the chaining is not suitable in following conditions. So first one being area, if the area to be surveyed is too large, then we will not go for chain surveying, we will go for another methods of linear measurements. Then next one is when the ground is quite uneven. So in case of very steep terrains or very rough terrains, it is a bit difficult for us to conduct the chain survey. Next is when the area is crowded. When there is crowded in terms of people or in terms of obstacles, if the area is crowded, it will be very difficult to take the measurements. Most of the data would have to be calculated by indirect measurements, which will consume lot of time, and it will also make the process very rigorous and tiresome. And if the details that has to be noted down in that particular area is very large, in that case chain surveying is not suitable. Next is chain survey is also called as triangulation, as it consists of number of triangles. So in chain surveying, what we do is we divide the area into number of smaller triangles so that it is easy for us to conduct the survey. So the why triangle? Only because triangle is the smallest a simple polygon is a triangle, and the calculations in the triangle is easier. Now, let us learn about certain terminologies or terms used in chain triangulation. So, first one is station. So first one being the station. Station or a survey station is also called as a survey station, is a prominent point on the chain line. Chain line is the line along which the chain is laid and the measurement is done. So survey station is a prominent point on that chain line. Then we have main station. Main station, these are the stations either at the beginning or the end of the survey, and in this diagram it is denoted with the terms A, B, C, D. So the major stations, so these main stations are the stations from which maximum readings are taken. And okay, we'll learn further about what are the things that we have to keep in mind when we select the main station or a subsidiary station. Next is subsidiary station or auxiliary station, or also called as secondary stations, and these stations are selected and they are selected to take down additional details. If the area to be surveyed is very large, then what happens is, with the help of the only main stations, it will become very difficult for us to continue with the survey. So in that case, we establish number of secondary points from where the readings can be taken. But these secondary points should be visible from the main station. Next is base. Next is baseline. So baseline is the longest line of the survey along which the readings are taken, and along, now let us say this is the survey line from chain age 0 to chain age 1000 meters. Now this is the longest line of the survey, and the details are taken, the details are taken along this survey line, and the details across this survey line is also taken. So with respect to the baseline only, the this baseline only the readings are taken. Next is detail line. So detail line, if the important objects are far away from the main lines, now let us say there is an object here which is far away from the main line, then these detail lines are drawn. So or these detail lines are formed so that the readings are taken. Next is check lines. These check lines are the lines connecting the main station and the secondary stations. So the main use of it is to enhance the accuracy of work. In even the tie lines. So these are the stations which these are the lines which connect again subsidiary stations or the further the tertiary stations or smaller stations like that. Sometimes that tertiary the tie lines will serve the purpose of a check line. Next topic is selection of the station. Now when we have to select the main station or a secondary station, certain points has to be considered before the selection. So first one being, station selected should be visible from at least 2 or more stations. So now if I say I have to select the station D, now station D should be at least visible from 2 or more main stations. It should be visible at least to A and C or B and C or any of the 2 stations. Then main frame should have as less lines as possible. So when we now when I want to do the survey of this area, I can construct a polygon with n number of sides to cover the maximum portion. But what we have to do is we have to select the main station in such a way that the framework is as simple as possible, because if you select a complex boundary, the calculation becomes difficult. Then as discussed earlier, in chain surveying, smaller triangles are formed. The frame of work will be in the shape of a triangle. So that triangle should be well conditioned. Well conditioned in the sense, the well conditioned triangle means, if there is a triangle like this, the interior angle, sum of interior angles should be 180 degree, and these sides should be as equilateral as possible. So when the sides are equilateral and the sum of angles of a triangle is 180 degree, then it is said to be well conditioned triangle. Next, each triangle should have at least one check line. One check line can be, it can be a diagonal like this, or it can be a diagonal like this. So theoretical value of this line and the length that is calculated in the field should be same. That is why the check lines are produced. Next, subsidiary station should be selected in such a way that offset to main object from the subsidiary lines are as short as possible. So the main purpose of setting subsidiary station or auxiliary station or secondary station itself is to take down more and more details. So if those lines are very far away from the details which has to be noted down, then it will not serve any purpose. So that is why it should be selected such that offset to the main object of survey is as short as possible. If possible, the framework should have one or two baselines which run on the level ground through the middle of the area. So having this will help us in checking the accuracy of the work. Next is we should avoid, while selecting the station, avoid as much as obstacles to ranging and chaining. If there is obstacles to ranging, then what happens? You cannot see you cannot see two or more stations from the selected station point. So it will be obstacle to visible obstruction. Will be visible obstruction will be present. Then if there is obstruction for chaining, we cannot conduct the chain surveying at all. So we have to avoid such obstacles as far as possible. Next is, as far as possible, the survey line should be on the level ground. Now next, coming to the errors in chaining. So there are certain errors that can happen while conducting the chain survey. So majorly all these errors are divided into three main categories. First one being personal errors. So these personal errors are also called as mistakes. These are also called as mistakes. So personal errors like wrong reading, taking down the wrong reading, or the person who have taken the reading might have taken it correctly, but the person who is recording it might have recorded it in a wrong way. So wrong recordings, then recording from the wrong end of the chain, or miscounting the number of links, or unable to take the reading in the chain. All these are human errors. So these are called as personal errors or mistakes. Next type of errors are compensating errors. So these can be both positive or negative, hence they are likely to get compensated when large number of readings are taken. So some of the examples which are given here: incorrect marking of the end of the chain. Next, fractional parts of the chain may not be correct when the chain is corrected by adding or removing a ring. So all these are the examples. Next, third type of errors are called as cumulative errors, and these cumulative errors, these are the errors which occur always in the same direction. So hence, more number of chain lengths are required while measuring a line. The error goes on accumulating. If the error exists at one point, because they occur in the same direction, the error goes on accumulating till the end. And these kind of compensating errors can be found out and can be modeled with a mathematical modeling, and we can find out the total. We can find out the total correction required there. So now coming to the corrections. So there are certain errors that can happen in the chain surveying. For all those errors, we have to apply the corrections. So first type of there are 5 major types of corrections that will be applied for the chain or a tape. First one being correction for absolute length. So generally what happens when a manufacturer manufactures a tape, he will have a designated length for the tape, but due to its when it comes to the market and we start using it, due to its extensive use, the material might have elongated, or there might be some problem with the material. So the designated length will be either more or less than the actual length. In that case, this is the formula that is used to measure the correction for absolute length. CA is equal to capital L into small c divided by small l. Capital L is the length that has been measured. Small c is the correction per tape length, divided by small l is the absolute length of the tape. And how do we calculate the correction per chain length? It is calculated using the formula small c is equal to LA minus 1. Next is correction for slope. So if the measured length, now the correction for slope can be found out using two formulas. So these formulas, either one of this can be used. Now, first formula says that this is a area on which we have done the survey, and if we know the elevation difference h, you know the RL of point A and RL of point B, then the elevation difference h can be found out. In that case, we can use this first formula. By chance, we don't know the elevation difference, but we know the slope value, that is theta value is known. In that case, we can use this formula. So in any of the case, either this formula or this formula, we will have the sign of this correction to be subtractive in nature. Next is correction for temperature. Now what happens is, when the manufacturer manufactures a tape, that manufacturer would have manufactured it for a standard temperature, and that standard temperature is called as T naught. But in the field, when we do the measurements, we will do the survey from, let us say, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. 12 hours of survey. When it is done, the temperature throughout the day goes on increasing, reaches the peak, and it comes down by the end of the day. Now we do not know at what time the temperature, because at what temperature that existed during what time of the day the tape has expanded or contracted. So what we do, we take the mean temperature Tm. Tm is the mean temperature during the measurements. So during the survey, at different time slots of the day, the temperature is measured, and the average of the temperature is used for the calculation here. So alpha here is the coefficient of thermal expansion of the material of the tape. Different material expands at different rate, and different material also contracts at the different rate. So depending on the expansion rate or the contraction rate, and depending on the material, alpha value can be decided. Next type of correction is correction for pull. So correction for pull can be found out using this formula. Cp is equal to P minus P naught whole thing multiplied by L divided by A into E. So here P is one is the standard pull during this is set by the manufacturer. This is the pull exerted in the field during the measurement. L is the length of the chain measured. E is the Young's modulus. Now this A is cross-sectional area of the tape. Cross-sectional area of the tape means, if we are using a tape like this is the cross-sectional area. So that value has to be put here. The next is correction for sag. So in the correction for sag, this is the formula which is used to measure the correction for sag. L into W divided by 24P. L is the length measured, W is the weight of the tape per tape length, and 24 into P is the load or the pull applied during the measurement. Now we will solve certain problems on this chain and tape correction. So we'll start taking down problems one by one, and we'll solve and try to understand how to apply the corrections that exist during the usage of this chain or tape. So first problem, let us take down. The length of the survey line when measured with a chain of 20 meters Nominal length was found to be 841.5 meters. When compared with the standard, it was found to be 0.1 meter too long. Compute the correct length of the line. So, in this problem, first let us understand the problem. The problem says that the length of the survey line was measured, and when it was measured using the 20 meter length of tape. So the correction for chain length, that is C value, correction for chain length, it was found to be 0.1 meter too long. So 0.1 meter. This is the value of small c. Next, measured length is capital L, which is equal to 841.5 meters. Next, nominal length of the chain, small l, is 20 meters. So these are the data that has been given in the problem. So they have asked us to find the correct length of the line. So correction for absolute length CA is equal to L into C by small l. So L is measured, A length is 841.5 meters multiplied by correction per tape length is 0.1 meter divided by designated length is 20 meters. So this becomes 4.21 meters. This is the correction. Now they have asked us to find the actual length. So therefore, actual length of the line is equal to 841.5 plus 4.21 meters. So this sums up to 845.71 meters. So in this problem, we can understand that instead of measuring the correct length as 845.71 meters, they had measured it to be 841.5 meters. That means there was an error of negative 4.21 meters. So the correction has positive sign here. So as a part of a note, we can write here. Here the chain was, now correction per tape length is, here the chain was 0.1 meter too long. So when it is too long, therefore the measured length is too short. Therefore the correction applied is positive. So this correction has a positive sign. So this is one type of problem. The other type of problem, so we'll take down a question. A distance of 2000 meter was measured by a 30-meter chain after the measurement. After the measurement, the chain was found to be 10 centimeter longer. Full stop. It was found to be 15 centimeter longer It was found to be 15 centimeter longer after another 500 meter was measured. If the length of the chain was correct, before the measurement, determine the exact length of hole measurement. Now this is the question that has been given to us. So now let us understand the question. It is said that a survey of 2,500 meters was done, but initially from 0 to 2000 meters a survey was done, then from 2000 to 2500 meters another day it was continued. So it says that when the survey was starting, the tape had no errors. That means correction per tape length C value is 0 at the beginning. But as it reached 2000 meter, the tape was found to be 10 centimeter longer. That is, C is 0.1 meters here. And they also said that the tape was found to be 15 centimeter longer when another 500 meters survey, another 500 meters was measured. Now here's the C value is 0.15. Now in the above formula, now we calculated the absolute length, correction for the absolute length using CA is equal to L into C divided by small l. Now here only one value of C can be used. Therefore, we will find the average value of C. So for this section 0 to 2000, C value that is to be so C value here is 0 plus 0.1 divided by 2 and the value here is 0.05 meters. In this section from 2000 to 2500, C is equal to 0.1 plus 0.15 divided by 2 and the value here is 0.125 meter. Now once we have got the value of C, we can calculate the correction per tape. We can calculate the correction for absolute length. That is from 0 meter to 2500, 2000 meters we'll calculate once. Then from 2000 to 2500 we will calculate. So CA value here is equal to L into C divided by small l. Capital L is length measured is 2000 meters multiplied by correction per tape length is this one 0.05 divided by the designated length of the tape is 30 meter. So this value will be 3.33 meters. Now this is the correction length applied for this particular section, that is 0 to 2000. Therefore true length of the line, if you want you can write from 0 meter chainage to 2000 meter chainage. The true length of the line is equal to 2000 plus, as this sign is plus positive here, so plus 3.33 meters. So this becomes 2003.33 meters. Next step is to find out the correction of our absolute length in this section between 2000 to 2500 and then measuring the absolute true length. So for the next section, that is for 2000 meter to 2500 meter section, CA is equal to L into C divided by small l. L here the distance measured is 500 meters into C value we have calculated here, that is 0.125. Designated length of the tape is 30 meters only. So here it is 2.08 meters. Therefore true length of the line is equal to 500 plus 2.08 meters. So this is 502.08 meters. So now the question says find out the exact length of the whole survey line. So exact length of the whole line is equal to correct length of the line between 0 to 2000 section plus the correct length of the line between 2000 to 2500 section. So this is 2003.33 plus 502.08. So answer is 2505.41 meters. So this is the answer. So we'll solve one more problem. The question says a line was measured with a steel tape of 30 meter long, standardized at 15 degrees centigrade with a pull of 100 Newton. Find the correction per tape length if the temperature at the time of measurement, if the mean temperature at the time of measurement was 20 degrees centigrade and pull exerted was 160 Newton. Other details are given as follows. Weight of 1 centimeter cube of steel is equal to 0.0786 Newton. Next is weight of the tape is 8 Newton. Next, modulus of elasticity E value is equal to 2.10 into 10 to the power of 5 Newton per mm square. Next is coefficient of thermal expansion of tape is equal to 7.1 into 10 to the power of -7 per degree centigrade. Now this is the data that is given to us. We'll try to solve this. So first we have to find out what are the corrections that has to be found. So corrections to be applied. A, correction for temperature, because there is two different temperatures there. Correction for temperature. Next is correction for pull, same reason. Next, third one is correction for sag. Now we'll start with correction for temperature. So first is correction for temperature. The formula says correction for temperature Ct is equal to alpha into L into Tm minus T naught. So alpha value is given here in the problem 7.1 into 10 to the power of -7 multiplied by L value is the length measured here is one tape length, that is 30 meters, multiplied by mean temperature given here is 20 degrees minus the standard temperature is 15 degrees. So The answer that we'll be getting is 1.065 into 10 to the power of minus 4 meters. The reason why you got positive correction is the mean temperature is greater than the standard temperature. If it is less than that, you would have got negative value. Now, second correction is correction for pull. Now, while applying the correction for pull, the formula says Cp is equal to P minus P naught into measured length L divided by A into E. In this formula, we have all the other values except the value of A. Now, as I said earlier, A is the cross-sectional area. Now, this is the value of A. The highlighted portion is the value of A. This portion is A. For that, we can find it out indirectly by the formula. Now, area of the tape, that is cross-sectional area, into length of the tape, what we get? We get volume of the tape. So, length into weight per volume. So, you'll get the total weight of the tape. So now area of the tape is unknown, which we are trying to find. Length of the tape is 30 meters. So 30 meters should be converted into centimeters. This conversion is done because weight of the tape per unit volume. Here unit volume that they have mentioned is 1 centimeter cube. Here the volume mentioned is 1 centimeter cube. So we have to convert it into centimeter here. So this value is 0. Weight per unit volume, that is weight per 1 centimeter cube is 0.0786 is equal to weight of the tape is given as 8 Newton. Right? So calculate the value of A. 8 divided by 0.0786 multiplied by 100 into 30. So A value is 0.0339 centimeter square. Now calculate the correction for pull. Correction for pull is equal to P minus P naught into L divided by A into E. So the pull applied in the field is 160 Newton. Standard pull is 100 Newtons. Measured length is 30 meters divided by A value, which we just calculated, is 0.0339 centimeter square into E value is given as 2.1 into 10 to the power of 5 Newton per mm. It is given in Newton per mm, but here we have to multiply it with 100 to convert this value of E from Newton per mm to Newton per centimeter square. So when we do that, we'll get the answer to be 2.528 into 10 to the power of minus 3. Again, this is positive because field measurements is high. We will just look into the unit. P and P naught, both the values are in Newton. Multiplied by length is in meters. Divided by A value is in centimeter square. Now E value is in Newton per centimeter square. So now what happens? Centimeter and centimeter get Newton and Newton gets cancelled. Then remaining is meter. So this is the reason why we converted E value from Newton per mm square to Newton per centimeter square. Now the value of pull is found out. Next correction that we have to apply is correction for sag. So correction for sag is equal to, the formula says L into W, capital W, divided by, W square divided by 24 into P square. So now weight of the tape is 8 Newton. This can be written as 0.82 kg, converting newtons into kg. Pull applied in the field is 160 Newton. So that is converted as 16.32 kg. Now this weight of the tape can be written as small weight per unit length into length also can be done. So correction for sag is equal to, length measured is 30, W value is 0.82 to the power of 2 divided by 24 into 16.32 square. So correction for sag is 3.125 into 10 to the power of minus 3 meters. Here correction for sag is always negative. The reason is, when you stretch the tape or the chain between 2 points, the tape or chain will always sag. It will never hog like this. So because this, if you would have hogged while taking the measurement, then this would be positive, but that condition doesn't exist. So we take, because the tape hogs because of its own weight, the correction for sag is always negative. Now we have found out individual correction. Let to find out total correction. So total correction is equal to correction for temperature plus correction for pull minus correction for sag. So correction for temperature is plus 1.065 into 10 to the power of minus 4 plus 2.528 into 10 to the power of minus 3 minus 3.125 into 10 to the power of minus 3. So this will become 4.905 into 10 to the power of minus 4 meters. This is the correction that has to be applied per tape length. Then there is one more type of problem. So the problem says the slope distance between two stations A and B of elevation of A and B is given here, 1572.25 meters, 250 meters, and 4260.460 meters, and these values are corrected for meteorological condition. Is the slope distance is 33,449.215 meters. So for this data, determine the horizontal distance. Here talked about anything, they have not talked anything about temperature variation, they have not talked anything about the pressure variation. In this problem they have only talked about slope. So the problem says The problem says this is the area, this is point A and point B. RL of point A is 1572.250 meter. RL of point B is 4260.460 meters. Now, this is the elevation difference H. H is how much? 4260.460 minus 1572.250. So value of H is 2688.210 meters. We can even calculate the theta value. You can calculate the slope correction with the help of H itself, or we can also calculate the value of theta. So sine theta can be calculated by opposite side by hypotenuse, H by hypotenuse, sloping distance. This distance is 33449.215 meters. So H is 2688. 210 divided by sloping distance is 33449.215. So theta is equal to sine inverse of this value, that would come up as 0.02057. So theta is equal to 4 degrees 36 minutes 34.76 seconds. Now we have to find out the correction for slope. Correction for slope is equal to L multiplied by 1 minus cos theta. So L is 33449.215 into 1 minus cos of 4 degrees 36 minutes 34.75 seconds. So answer here is 108.196 meters. Therefore, the true distance that is the horizontal distance is equal to 33449.215 minus, this is always negative, correction for slope negative, so minus 108.196. So the answer is 33341.018 meters. So this is the horizontal distance. Let us take one problem for homework. A steel tape of 30-meter nominal length was suspended between two supports. To measure the length of a line. The measured length on a slope of 4 degrees 25 minutes is 29.8605 meters. The mean temperature during the measurement was 15 degrees centigrade and pull applied was 120 Newton. If the standard length of the tape is 30.008 meters at 27 degrees centigrade at a standard pull of 50 Newton. Calculate the correct horizontal length take the weight of the tape to be equal to 0.16 Newton per meter length of the tape, and its cross-sectional area is equal to 2.75 centimeters square, and coefficient of thermal expansion, that is alpha, is equal to 1.2 into 10 to the power of minus 5 per degree centigrade. And the last value is modulus of elasticity, E is equal to 2.05 into 10 to the power of 6 Newton per mm square. So the solution for this problem is also similar. We have to calculate the correction for slope, correction for the absolute length, correction for temperature, correction for pull, and lastly correction for the sag length, and then calculate the horizontal distance. Thank you.